I'm PixxelKick, and I wasted 2400 chaos grinding 200 Mesa maps so that you don't have to. No, seriously, do not attempt to do this on your own time. It was an enormous waste of currency, and I deeply regret it.
Okay, so first off, hey PixxelKick, did your findings have any impact on my optimal map sustain strat? And to that I say, yes. Yes, my sweet summer child, they did. Favoriting a map increases its weight by a little bit more than 100% per favorite, such that a triple favorited map has about a 450% increased weight on the atlas. Not only that, but this includes the thing map bosses have going on where they drop a connected map. So, for all you Magic Find boys out there trying really hard to sustain your T14 Burial Chambers, this can help. So, what you do is right before you kill the map boss, swap your favorite map to be triple Mesa, which will make the map boss drop a Mesa map about 40% of the time. Then later, when you eventually run out of Burial Chambers maps, set it as your favorite and spam kill Oak in Mesa. I was able to get my clear time down to about 8 seconds, and about 40% of the time, he will drop a Burial Chambers map. Actually, because Mesa map is linked to Burial Chambers and constantly flip-flopping your favorite map is a huge pain, you honestly could just keep Mesa perma-favorited while running Burial Chambers, and since every Mesa map has about a 40% chance to get turned into a Burial Chambers, and also has about an 8% chance to give you a Guardian map and a 45% chance to give you a Master mission, you really only need to get 2.5 Mesa drops per Burial Chamber runs to sustain. And, since you already should be getting a Mesa map 40% of the time from the Burial Chambers boss itself, you only need to average 2.1 Mesa drops per run. A bit steep, but viable. But wait, there's more. Toxic Sewers is another wicked fast T15 map you can run that is connected to Mesa, but in a different region. If you triple favorite Toxic Sewers, you can also rapidly convert every 40 Toxic Sewer maps into 10 Mesa maps, which in turn become 4 Burial Chambers maps. Remember, that's also 50 map boss kills. Which might sound like a fair bit of work, but both Mesa and Toxic Sewers are maps you can rapid fire burn through several a minute. I was able to run all 200 of my Mesa maps in like 2 hours. Once I subtract the time I spent doing calculations and sorting inventory, it worked out to like 25 seconds a map. So, summarized, set Mesa and Toxic Sewers as your favorite maps, run Burial Chambers. Then, once you run out of Burial Chambers, swap to speedrunning Toxic Sewers and converting them into Mesas at a 10-to-4 ratio. Then, once you run out of Toxic Sewers, unfavorite it in Mesa, favorite Burial Chambers, and speedrun all that pile of Mesa maps you have now and convert them at a 10-to-4 ratio back into Burial Chambers. Whew, that's a lot to take in, right? This theoretically should be plenty of gas to make it so any average player can sustain T14 Burial Chambers, or at the very least make it take much, much longer for you to run out and have to rebuy. So, moving on to my data, how did I get these numbers? Well, to begin, I went through the agonizing process of buying 200 Mesa maps, which cost me a grand total of 2,431 chaos, or just shy of 16 exalts. Then, I separated them into 2 groups of 100. I unfavorited every map on the atlas, made sure I had no sextants, conqueror's influence, prophecies, etc. And then I ran 100 mesas, only killing Oak, and recorded my results for map drops off the boss. Any map drops off random trash on the way were ignored. I had a full 8 out of 8 woke bonus, 150 plus atlas bonus, and 150 plus awakener bonus. This served as my control group. Then, I set Burial Chambers as a favorite map and repeated the experiment with another 100 Mesa maps. This served as my test group. The results were extremely significant. On both runs, I ended up on average getting a linked map about 43% of the time. This leads me to believe the base chance for the boss to drop a linked map is 35%, which then gets buffed up to about 43% with a woke bonus of 8. However, on the control group, I only got 7 Burial Chamber drops from the boss out of a total 42 linked map drops, giving a relative drop rate of just shy of 17%. Once I swapped to the test group, though, the Burial Chambers drops off the boss amounted to 39 out of the 43 linked map drops. This means Burial Chambers dropped as the linked map off the boss a whopping just shy of 91% of the time. Calculating the weight changes, and assuming this experiment doesn't cause the weights of the other linked maps to change, I found this meant triple favoriting Burial Chambers increased its relative weight to the other sibling maps by 350%. This has a lot of implications for Atlas Sustain, mostly because there are a lot of clever tricks you can leverage with this. For example, if you farm 2 maps you like that have a region divide between them, such that they can both be triple favorited, simply off the map boss alone, you can make one single map, at about a 40% drop rate off the boss, last actually about 1.666 repeating boss kills. This also in turn means, with a 45% chance to get a master mission, 8% chance to get a Guardian or Synthesis map, and a 10% chance to meet a Wild Master, you will on average get about 9 Master encounters, missions and Wild combined, from 10 maps, and 13 Guardian or Synthesis maps every 100 maps you consume. That's some wicked sustain. And that's assuming you don't chisel or alch the map and just run straight to the boss. Kill it, check for a Wild Master, then leave. Considering sometimes that master encounter will be Zana, and the fact you get map drops from actively running through Synthesis and Guardian maps, and drops from master missions, you can very well expect to outright sustain your map ping-pong without even alching or chiseling or anything. The key here lies in the fact Zana just gives you nice maps ready for you, and those maps will rejuice you back up and will carry your sustain way farther. Is it profitable? Potentially, yes. When I ran my Mesa maps, I wasn't doing any master missions at all, but I did end up getting about 90 missions in total in the bank, which means a ton of Zana missions, which on average make about 20 chaos a pop, and a bunch of Nico missions as well, which, as I delve deeper and deeper, can translate into some serious bank. And of course, Alva missions, once stockpiled, can be directly converted into enormous profits when used on a Delirium map. Ironheart could be consumed directly while running your map ping pong. It didn't seem that difficult to try and quickly hunt down just the red beast and capture it, and that could eventually translate into some extra currency as well. I think on my stream for the next week or so, I'm going to take a serious stab at trying to sustain this way and see what my results end up being. Until then, thanks for tuning in, and I hope this was enlightening.